Well, that's all, folks. Not about crocodiles. Alright, guys. Yeah, well, I guess when it does come to working with animals like this, I guess you could say there is a small hazard. So we are required to have guards, and yeah, I'm pretty lucky today because behind here I've got Duncan. You know, don't encourage him. Sit down, Duncan. Yeah, because if anything unforeseen happens, like say this dude here charges out, grabs me by the face, Duncan here is going to come flying in, tackle the crocodile and save my life. Look at him. That's chance on that. I guess we get grabbed by this dude. I suppose this dive breakers make you all screaming. So I'm sure he gets some awesome photos. And probably show on YouTube too, I bet. But anyway guys, now this dude here, he's a saltwater or estuarine crocodile. Now they are referred to by a few different names. The salt is what most people call it by. But you know that name, it is a bad name because it is quite a misleading name. Because you actually find about 70 or 80% of the wild population living in fresh or brackish water. So a better name for these guys, the estuarine crocodile. But a more accurate name for them is the Indo-Pacific crocodile. I mean, that's where you find them. Because this is probably the most widespread species out of any species of crocodilian. Because they actually go all the way from Australia right through to India. Now, he is a male, and he's a little bit big for a female. He's about 3.8 metres long, probably weighs about 200 kilos. You know, there is a distinct probability that we made him a male, because crocodilians lack sex chromosomes, like Duncan.
Oh, there he is.
Chicken
He's right there.
No, chicken feet. Now this species here is also the largest out of any species of crocodilian. Now how big they can get, no one really knows. I mean, the largest one that was ever supposedly recorded was shot. It was actually shot by a lady, obviously not the average housewife. But they actually claim they shot a crocodile just over 8.6 metres long. Now the only problem with that is they didn't actually keep any evidence of it, skins and skulls. But they do have skins and skulls of this species that came from New Guinea that was just over 7 metres long. You know, animals of that size, you probably look at well over a tonne of weight. Now, just to give you a bit of an idea of how big they can get, yes, you imagine, a person or a kangaroo or wallaby coming down for a drink, or say something a bit bigger, maybe a cow, and they make a slight vibration. And then they launch the attack. Take that deep water to the ground now. Break your apart. Think and roll it, Hagrid. Head shake. Roll it, Hagrid. That's a bit of slowest rolling crocodile I know. So, I can get your breath back. I've got no endurance to do it, so. Alright, well, usually it's a little bit faster than that. But you get the idea anyway, just rolling and a few head shakes there. Now, that was the easy part. Now the fun part's getting back up in. Yeah, you actually hang on to just about 9 o'clock or 12 o'clock. So I hope you're comfortable. Alright. Actually, that brings me to a question. Have you ever wondered how to get away from a crocodile and actually gets hold of you? Yeah? Me too. There are quite a few suggestions. And one of the most popular ones is you're poking in the eyes. I don't know if that will work. Certainly fight back. Lie there and die. But it has actually worked in some cases and not so well in others. But there's one really popular story about a guy who did poke on the eyes, did let go. This happened back in 1997. But this guy, he had two big advantages. Firstly, he was up on land where crocodiles not at its best. And secondly, and probably most importantly, this crocodile followed someone else. But that's not the surprising part. The most surprising part about this story, like this guy was Australian, right? This guy runs down in the dark, tackles this large crocodile, I think he even gets bitten himself, and he successfully saves his mother-in-law. Well, what Australian is that? Really? Perfect opportunity right there. Now, I actually have a theory. I reckon it'd be a short thing. Keep it in front of never have to put it in practice. But you might be walking around the park today, you see a crocodile sitting there with mouth open, you can't see down its throat. Now that's their tongue forming that palatal valve, so for when they submerge underwater, they don't take in water. So obviously a bigger piece of food due to be consumed by the surface, right? Otherwise they're going to drown. So as we just demonstrated the rolling and head shaking to break you apart, obviously to break you apart it will be a lot easier to death, right? So as soon as they grab you, they're going to take you straight up to the middle of the river, go straight to the bottom, not moving. So if this happens to you, like you stand near the river, you've got a fishing rod in this hand, have your beer in this hand, and Hagrid launches out, grabs you on the gut. What he's going to do is straight to the middle of the river, straight to the bottom, and wait till you stop moving. So if this happens to you, why in a crocodile's mouth, sitting at the bottom of the river, this is when you've got to think to yourself that time you came to Hartley's and Shane was bungling that crocodiles can't fall in the water. It's a big crocodile, so you've got plenty of room to move. What you've got to do is grab your arm, stick it down the back of the crocodile's throat, grab that palatal valve and reef it open, and maybe the other hand get a bit of extra water going to speed up that process a little bit. That crocodile, he's going to feel for water, panic and let you go, shoot to the surface of breath of fresh air. That's when you swim to the other bank, you save yourself from a cross tank, you're on front page of the Sports Fair next time. We all know what I'm talking, right? A whole lot of trouble. When it comes to crocodile attack prevention, it's much better than cure. If you don't get a lot of things, it's not going to have a problem. Alright, now basically what the idea is now, I'll give the rope plenty of slack, so Hagrid's, perfect. He thinks he's killed his food, right? Now he's going to lift his head above that water, and as he's manipulating that bait towards the back of his throat, with my ninja-like reflexes, yank it out of his mouth. Okay. Is all comfortable? Yeah. Let go. Well, you can follow it. It's all yours. There you go. Haven't got it. Okay. Alright, yeah, this is Chucky. Brother, hang on. Okay. Boy, Hagrid's thinking about what he's going to do there. Now, you might have been out the boat saying, when crocodiles jump up and they miss their food, they make that really loud noise. Now, that's the biting pressure these guys have in their jaws. Now, nothing on the face of the planet bites harder than crocodilians, because they've actually got quite blunt teeth, so they need that pressure there to be able to drive those teeth in to secure their prey. Whereas things like, say, great white sharks, they actually bite very hard. They only bite somewhere about 600 or 700 pounds. They don't need to quite hard. Yeah, so these guys need quite hard. So these guys actually bite somewhere about 3,000 pounds of clothing pressure. And he might actually do a demonstration. Still a demonstration though. Give you a light. That'll be brutal here. There you go. Look at that. There you go. Chicken? That's chicken. It's up here, Steven. It's up here. You want chicken? No, you're not looking at the chicken.
Sitting out on the side of me.
Come over since we aren't hungry.